Oh, yes. You know those troubling thoughts you have about whether your relationship, your sex life is toxic or not? Yeah, those troubling questions. Wondering whether, are you really in this? Is this really happening to me? Should that be happening? Should I be feeling this way? Is this normal? Those questions and more we will have answers to during this video on,
After Dark.
yes,
Unique
unique
Couples
couples
After
after dark.
Dark.
So,
We are Vito and Linda Patrick. We are here in Freeport, Grand Bahama in the Bahamas, and we want to welcome you to another Unique Couples After Dark. If you haven't subscribed to our Unique Couples YouTube channel, you want to go ahead and subscribe to the Unique Couples YouTube channel. You want to turn on that notification bell and make sure you select all so you can know every time we go live here at Unique Couples.
so tonight we are talking about top signs you have a toxic sex life. Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned.
Okay. We're back. Yes, and we are talking about top signs.
Top signs of a toxic sex life.
Yes, that you have a toxic sex life. And sometimes we think about, just those toxic relationships, but guess what? You can also have a toxic sex life. And so we are going to give about 5 points, five top signs that you have a toxic sex life. So it could be something that you are displaying, you're doing, you're being the perpetrator, or it could be your spouse. Okay, so these are the top signs. These are like warning signs that you need to really look out for. So if you're married, definitely you look at these signs and then, hey, there's something you can do. So stay tuned in until the end. Stick around until the end, and we'll tell you exactly what you can do to come out of that toxic sex life. So when we look at having a toxic sex life and the signs of a toxic sex life, we definitely have to know that, guess what? It could happen to anyone, right? It can happen to anyone. So as we talk, be sure to let us know some of the signs of a toxic sex life. Go ahead and put that in the comments for us as well. Okay? Yes.
So we're going to talk about these signs of a toxic sex life. And you said we're going to talk about 5 of them, the top 5. And number one, you don't talk about your desires and wants. So that is a sign of a toxic sex life. You're not talking about your desires and wants. So if you don't communicate, then nothing substantial happens.
Yeah.
So you have to communicate.
And we know communication is key, right? That's just something that normal, healthy marriages that are successful, research has shown that is something that happens, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
So you need to have healthy communication. You need to be able to communicate. So if you're not communicating, you're not talking about your sex life, your wants, your desires and fantasies, you're not talking about it with your spouse. That could be for a number of reasons, right? That could be for a number of reasons. So it could be fear, right? So fear could have you crippled where you don't want to talk about these things with your spouse, and fear because you're not sure what they'll say, or fear because maybe you're ashamed, or fear that, hey, this will just lead to an argument, but you basically just keeping it to yourselves. He's not talking, you're not talking, no one is talking about what you want and need and desire for your sex life. So that is a problem. And then another reason that you may not be communicating might be because of pain from past attempts to talk about sex. Okay, so if you talked about it before with your spouse and you got an adverse reaction and they reacted negatively to you, then that could definitely be a problem. So you may just decide not to communicate about sex and talk about your wants and desires and fantasies and all these different things, which is going to be troubling and hurting for your marriage. So that is definitely a big sign, one of our top 5 signs for a toxic sex life. Hey, remember to put your signs in the chat as well. And if you're watching with us live, go ahead and hashtag Live Squad. Good to see you, Gia. All of you who are watching with us live. And then for those of you who catch the replay, hashtag replay, we really want to hear your comments as well. So you ready for sign number 2?
Yeah, sign number 2. You belittle each other's desires. You belittle each other's desires. So that's also a sign of a toxic sex life.
Yeah, so it's like, ooh, you want to do that? Where? You want to do what and put where and do what, when, and how? And so you make another person basically feel bad about what they want to do and what they want to try or experiment with, and that is definitely a sign. And it could be not even just with sexual act. It could just be how you make that person feel. Oh, look at you. You're so, talking about their shape or their height or how they look or how they smell and being negative and just belittling your spouse. And that is definitely a sign of a toxic, making them feel bad and ashamed of their body or how they look. Then, that is definitely belittling. That is a definite sign for that you have a toxic sex life, right? Yes. So you want to make sure that that doesn't happen in your relationship. And of course, hey, if you do find that happen in your relationship, you go ahead and check us out in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. We are marriage coaches, and we will help you go on a journey for more in your relationship. Okay.
Yes.
So we will help you go on that journey for more in your relationship so that you can even overcome some of this toxic sex life traits that is happening in your relationship.
Yes. So number 3, you are not satisfied with your spouse and fantasize about someone else.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Major big one. Because if you are fantasizing about somebody else?
Yeah.
Ooh, and basically not being satisfied with your spouse, and wanting and seeing other people, and just wanting them instead of your spouse, and even letting your spouse know that, communicating that to your spouse, and making them feel bad that, hey, I want someone, I shouldn't have married you, and all of these different things, and you never get it right, and you could never do it right. All of that, well, that's belittling as well. But having those fantasies about someone else is a definite sign of a toxic sex life. And guess what? If you are not married and you find yourself in that situation, just be sure and know that that's a warning sign, and you need to run for the hills. Yeah, so you need to run for the hills. So that was number 3. So we're talking about 5 top signs, right?
Of a toxic
sex life. And so we are just revealing these toxic sex life. Okay. All of the traits of a toxic sex life. And guess what? This is like a tongue twister tonight. I don't know why, but yes. So we're revealing all of the signs for a toxic sex life. Not all, but we're giving you the top 5. Go ahead, write in the comments. We definitely will respond. Want to hear from you. So go ahead and type those already in the chat. We definitely want to hear from you as well. And guess what? Don't forget to like and share this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, go ahead. So we're at number 4. Number 4.
You are not happy with your spouse's expression of love.
So it's like, how you're touching me or what you're doing to me sexually. I'm not satisfied. I'm not happy with it at all. So you're not happy with it, how your spouse is expressing it. Then, generally, you're just not happy with your sex life. That is a sign that you have a toxic sex life. Okay. Toxic sex life. Okay. So definitely that is a sign. So before we do number 5, we just want to remind you that we have our Unique Couples Marriage Club that you can go ahead and join. The link is in the description. Go ahead. We were having sizzling September quickies. We had summer quickies. We had we're having coming up Sex is Everything webinar, which will be on
October the 4th.
Yeah, so October 4th, we'll have that. And then we also have our date night coming up in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, which will be on September
27th.
Yes.
Monday, September the 27th.
Okay, so
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So it's a lot of stuff happening in the club to help you even overcoming some of these toxic traits, not knowing how to communicate with your spouse, even about, just being intimate with your spouse. So it's all about this journey you're taking with your spouse. And we're giving you daily drips of love, things, action step that you do every day to help draw you closer to your spouse, to make you all, best friends.
Exactly.
To increase the passion, the commitment, the love, the excitement. You want all of that in your marriage. Join us on that journey. If you want to be a part of that journey, then you definitely need to be in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Okay, so join us in that club and be a part of that experience. Go ahead, register to be a part of that club, and register while the price is still. We're going to grandfather you into this low-cost investment into your marriage. so that you can just continue to grow with your spouse. So be sure to join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Okay.
MIT.
Yes.
Motivation, inspiration, and transformation.
Yes. So join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Okay. So be sure to do that. And so we're talking about the top five signs you have a toxic sex life. We did number one. Number one was,
if you don't communicate, then nothing substantial happens. Number two was, you belittle each other's desires. Number three, you are not satisfied with your spouse and fantasize about someone else. Number four, you are not happy with your spouse's expression of love.
Yes.
And
And
now we are down to number five.
Number five.
And number five is, you are forced to participate in sexual activities that crosses your boundaries.
Yeah. So you might feel like, what he's asking you to do, what she's asking you to do, you've communicated. Maybe you communicated that, hey, this is not something that I want to do, that I feel comfortable doing, that is cross my boundary lines. Like that is just an absolute, that's on my list of definite no-nos. Never, ever, ever will I do this particular act for under no circumstances. That kind of boundary crossed. And you feel like you're being forced to do that continuously. And if it's not something that, hey, like you can get over, that maybe, you get some help and it's something that's supposedly normal and natural for couples to engage in, and you are having a problem with it, then, that's something else you can get help with. Now, if it's something that you're like, okay, this is absolutely not something that couples do or engage in, or humans engage in, then you know that, hey, you are in a toxic relationship. Okay. So with all of that, you of course have to communicate your boundaries. Just going back to what you said with number one, right?
Yes.
About communication. Yeah. So even communicating about your sex life is important. Okay. So when we look at these signs, these top signs that you have a toxic sex life, generally we'll say that you don't respect each other's feelings, desires, wants. It's like you have no regard to them as a sexual being, as a sexual person who wants to give and feel pleasure as well. So make sure, go ahead, join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, and we'll take you on that journey for more. And be sure to work on these toxic traits as it relates to your sex life. Okay, so join us there in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. And you will definitely be on that journey for more in your relationship. We want to thank our sponsors again for making tonight's show possible. So go ahead and connect with them. Style Me Pretty. You can go ahead and call, get your hair, your daughter's hair styled, go and get it braided. Shadra specializes in that. Then you can go ahead and connect with Hair to Please and get your frontal weaves and hair styled. Okay, so connect with Hair to Please at the number there. And you can also check out the Nail Lab Creation with Anna. And ladies and men, get your nails done. Make sure that you are designed and styled from head to toe as you enjoy date nights and special moments with your loved ones. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and make sure you join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. We had fun sharing with you, and we hope that you stay away from those signs of a toxic sex life. And if you do have a toxic sex life, be sure to join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club.
Yes. Here at Unique Couples, we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. We love you all. Have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of the week. See you on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Unique Couples Sunday Night Live.
Yes, and we have a special guest, and he will be talking about
what every husband needs to know and do.
Yeah, so that will be Pastor Dr. Eddie Victor. You want to be here to enjoy that conversation. Go ahead, let us know your takeaways in the chat, and we will see you on Sunday. Goodbye.
Bye.